Started, um, you have to take off the factory strut bar. That's the only way for you to be able to get to the rear motor mounts. Other than that, it's these 3 bolts. Once you get that off, move on to the next step. To do the front motor mount. For this motor mount, you have to take off the fan itself, coolant tank, and the battery tray, because this has to come off so you'll be able to wiggle out that stock motor mount. But I went ahead and just taken the battery tray off. There'll be 2 bolts right here, and there'll be 2 bolts right below the actual tray itself. Other than that, they're 12 mils. I went ahead and taken them off just to kind of speed up the process. You can see kind of a lot of room over there. Just put it right there. As I was mentioning, there will be the 2 bolts underneath right here, these 2. Other than that, getting ready to take this fan off, and I'll show you that once it's off. From the previous video, I've removed the battery tray. I did have to release the top coolant hose off. To take the fan off, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, 4 10s. Once you get that fan off, just make sure you release these little tabs from underneath, and obviously unplug the fan. Once you get that out, you'll be able to wiggle that fan out, and as you can see, there's so much room in there to take off the motor mount. Everything is pretty much going to be easy. You will need 2 17s for the top. Take that top support off. Once you get that off, you'll have to remove this bolt right here. Once you get that bolt out, this cover would come off, and you can release 4 14 mils. Be 1, 2, and then 3, 4 on the other side. Make sure you do jack the car up a little bit to support the motor. Once you get that done, I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Start jacking anything up or taking off any motor mount bolts. Just make sure you secure the oil pan. Make sure you put a wood to kind of even out the weight. And now once you get that up, start taking it off. Your motor mounts, you can see everything's intact, solid. This would be the front. This would be the back. Actually, no, this will be the front, this will be the back. Sorry about that. I just had to match it with the old one, kind of from the side, the back. Other than that, here's the old one. So you can see it's pretty much shot. That's what's causing the extreme vibration from the motor itself. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely time to replace it. And did the driver's side motor mount. There'll be this this plate right here sitting like this. I'll buy 1 bolt. Take that off. I ended up having to loosen this bracket on the back. That way I can get to the bolt that's behind right here. Make it easier a little bit. So I got that out. Okay, there'll be 3 bolts right below these that hold this motor mount itself. Once you get that out, put the new one in and do the reverse from the removal. Comparison of the old and the new one. As always, the old one was shot. Pretty much broken right there. It's the new one. Go ahead and pop that in. When you tighten this particular one, you have to make sure that thing is kind of in the slot when you tighten them. As you can see, mine is in the little groove right there. Yeah, just make sure on that one when you put this back on. So to try to get that better view right there. Other than that, once you get that in, next motor mounts. Just I didn't get a chance to show the removal of the rear mount. Basically, it's pretty similar to the front, with the exception of moving a little bit of the wires around so you can squeeze it in between the motor and the fuse box. But like I said, it's the same thing. I did, however, left the easiest one for last. This one is located under the tranny. As you can see, it's right there. It's held by 2 bolts, which are these 2. And then there will be 2 inside those holes. They're 12 mils, so get that out. Make sure you jack underneath the motor. Other than that, once you get that out, swap the other one in, and that's it. So I got the old one off. As you can see, it's pretty much done for as well. That's the brand new one. Other than that, that's it. As you can see, the old one didn't have like a little extension. This was welded right about there, so I just ended up cutting it out, so pretty much now they're identical. Other than that, once you get that in there, you have to do that. Okay, basically for the last motor mount, be for the passenger side top, it's actually pretty easy. All it takes is 2 bolts, 1 bolt here, and that's literally all it takes. You just spray a little bit of WD-40 or PB Blaster in those bolts and just kind of let it soak in. I have seen them snap in half, and it's kind of a pain to take it off. So, but yeah, just let it soak in for a little bit and replace it and go from there. I will be doing the timing belt video as well next, but figured might as well go ahead and start on the motor mount. So since the passenger side has to come off anyway, I didn't put him on yet since I have to do the timing belt. Now, if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me or leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe.